Hey, good afternoon, Wabash family. Great to see you this afternoon. We have waited for this day for such a long time, and it is finally here. Well, it's kind of here. You might have seen recently that we in King County are now in phase 2 of the governor's phased-in opening plan. And what that means for our church is that we can now meet together indoors, but with 200 or less people or 25% of capacity. So we're right at about 200 people. And your staff and elders felt that the best way to begin is to do so with a phased-in approach. So beginning this Sunday, July 5th, we'd like to welcome you back here to church campus. Now it'll be a little bit different, so let me explain that. First of all, it'll be part live and part recorded, but we're going to ask you to participate just as if it were all live. Secondly, as a part of our coming back, we're directed to be wearing face coverings. So we're going to be fairly strict about that, so no cheating once you get inside the building. Please be respectful of this rule. We also need you to remain 6 feet apart in the pews unless you're a family from the same household. And so we're going to have every other pew closed so that there'll be a 6-foot distance front to back as well as side to side. Now, there's going to be no separate children's program, so we're going to ask you to keep your kids with you and masked if they're over 5 years old. And this particular Sunday is a communion Sunday. So there'll be self-serve communion elements for you to pick up as you enter the sanctuary. And then there'll also be a receptacle in the lobby for your offering, as we won't be passing the plate. As soon as the service ends, we're going to ask you to please make your way out of the sanctuary, through the lobby, and into the parking lot. This is going to be the hardest thing for us to do because we really love being together. But it's so important that we endure and we refrain from hugging in and from congregating in the lobby. And we know that many of you are not yet going to be comfortable with returning. And we want you to know that's okay. And in fact, if you have any symptoms at all, we'd like to ask you to stay home. We're going to continue the online service just as always. And prior to your arriving on Sunday, the church will have been cleaned well, although no one's really been here except staff. And you'll also find hand sanitizing stations throughout and extra face coverings if you forget yours. We are so excited to see many of you this Sunday as life slowly returns to normal. You know, Psalm 122 verse 1 has pretty much summed up our feelings around here. I was glad when they said, "Let us go to the house of the Lord." I hope you're glad and anxious to come back as much as we are glad and anxious to see you again. So make plans to join us this Sunday morning, July the 5th, 9:30, here at Wabash, part live, part recorded, but all joyful. We'll see you then, church.